Wow, you're live. Chow. Chow. Freaking live, baby. Freaking live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to b.hive Productions Apocalypse Humpday. And we are going through the zombie saga. It is night 26, and we are reading from my zombie novel, Zechariah 14:12, Humanity's Last Stand. And it is, well, we're coming to the end of the book. We've got 2 more chapters left tonight, and then next week we finish off the book. So thank you guys for hanging out with me this long. Very much appreciate it. And yeah, it has been a long time. I've got a there should be a couple links. One of the links will be to the Amazon page where you can get the book. Good evening, Kevin. Are you ready for tonight's nightmare? So, I should have you read the story I'm working on now. That one will give you nightmares. I know Steph doesn't want to hear what I've got written in it so far. 'Cause yeah. All right. So anyhow, being the get out of there. Why is this other screen on here? What? Oh my goodness. All right. So, there we are. We're back. Oh hell. It is a bit scary, yeah. So, we'll talk a little bit more about that after the reading tonight. So, anyhow, welcome drones and welcome everybody that's come to listen to me read my book tonight. This is the very first quote-unquote novel I ever wrote. It started out as a short story called The Last Stronghold, I believe. And some of you out there read it and said, oh, you should turn that into a book. And so I did, and that was the result of tonight's book, was that a little prompting from you folks, from my readership, which is cool. So, anyways, I usually like to do a little something fun with zombie apocalypse night. And Kev, you hung out with me last week, and we did the quiz on if you would survive a zombie apocalypse. And Kevin and I, we answered it together. And we found out that we would survive for at least 5 months. So, yeah. So that was our life. So tonight I do have a quiz for you. It is, what kind of zombie apocalypse survivor will you be? So, there's always, your stereotypical characters in a zombie apocalypse story. And so I thought maybe we'd find out who we are collectively, since we're going to do this quiz together. What I'll do is I'll read the question. I'll give you the multiple choice answers. And you guys go ahead and put in the comments how you would answer that question, and we'll just go through the quiz, and when we end it, we'll find out what kind of zombie apocalypse survivors we are. I do have a link on tonight's live stream. That link is this actual quiz. So if you guys want to take it on your own, you can just click on that and take it on your own as well. And I would appreciate it if you guys, when you finish the quiz, if you posted on here what you got for an answer. All right, here we go. What kind of zombie apocalypse survivor would you be? First question. You hear about the zombie onslaught on the news one day, and there's a banging on your door that day. What do you do? Do you A, run, B, rush to the door and open it, C, stop 3 feet in front of the door and answer, who is it, or D, grab a gun that's right next to you and unload it on the door. I'll give you guys some time to answer that. Doom, 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 doom. Kevin answers D. I will repeat the question again. You hear about the zombie onslaught on the news one day, and there's a banging on your door that same day. What do you do? Do you A, run, B, rush to the door and open it, C, stop 3 feet in front of the door and answer, who is it? Or D, grab a gun that's right next to you and unload it on the door? Kevin has answered D. Steph, got a guess? A. Steph says A. She runs. All right. So we got a toss up here. We got a D or an A. So we got to do this democratically. And I happen to have a coin here. And heads will be D, Kevin's answer. And tails will be A, Steph's answer. And it's tails. So we go with Steph's answer, A. We run. Okay, number 2. For whatever reason, the banging stopped. You rush into your kitchen and head to the cellar where your gun supply is when you see that 2 zombies have your dog surrounded in the yard. What do you do? Do you A, use the last of the bullets on the zombies, B, throw a grenade at them, C, save the bullets and run out there with 2 machetes, or D, run down the cellar? I would have looked out the side window in case it was my kids. What if it was your kids zombified, though? So, Kevin answers C. So, I'll read that question again. Number 2, for whatever reason, the banging has stopped. You rush into your kitchen and head to the cellar where your gun supply is. When you see that 2 zombies have your dog surrounded in the yard, what do you do? A, use the last of the bullets on the zombies. B, throw a grenade at them. C, save the bullets and run out there with 2 machetes. Or D, run down the cellar. And both Stephanie and Kevin agree with C. So save the bullets and run out there with 2 machetes. And Shannon Bass is on board with C as well. All right, Shannon has joined the game. All right, number 3. Your dog lives no matter what you do. And the cellar, Jason goes with C as well. Welcome, Jason. Your dog lives no matter what you do. And the cellar, which is pitch black, is a few feet away. What do you do? Remember, you ain't got no ammo. Do you A, send your dog down first, B, kick your dog for not killing the zombies, then head down, C, go down and tell your dog to stay behind you, or D, use common sense and flip on the light switch? So I'll give you guys some time there. Now that we got some players here, it should be interesting. I like how they always use a pet. They always use a pet to pull at the heartstrings. Kevin is going with D so far. Jason comes in with D. Jason comes in with the big D. And Stephanie follows up with the big D. All right, we've got a mutual Mutual agreement there. How about you, Shannon? You want to chime in? No, my cat wants to chime in. She's like, let the dog die. Say, kick the dog down the cellar, huh, boo-boo kitty? Yeah. Shannon also going with D. All right. So we go with D. Go down and tell your dog to stay behind. Wait, no. D. Use common sense and flip on the light switch. All right. Question number 4. While down in the cellar, you see a zombie slowly crawling through the window, which is over your gun supply. Do you A, ignore it, B, sick your dog on it? Wait, did I say? Okay, let's do this over again. Do you A, ignore it, B, sick your dog on it, C, stay there and wait until the zombie is fully out, or D, say, quick, Grammy, get in? Not sure what that means. But yeah, there's your choices. So while down in the cellar, you see a zombie slowly crawling through the window, which is over your gun supply. Do you A, ignore it, B, sick your dog on it, C, stay there and wait until the zombie is fully out, or D, say, quick, Grammy, get in? Okay, Jason comes rolling in with a B. Shannon Bass with a B. Kevin comes in with a C. And Steph with a B. So looks like the B's have it. We got 3 B's to 1 C. So we're sicking our dog on it. Poor Xena. She's not going to see or hear the zombie. Poor old dog. Ah, well. She's got a lot of meat they can chew on. All right, so we sicked our dog on the zombie crawling through the window. Number 5. After you get your supplies and have been walking for 2 hours, you come across a sign. You come across a sign. You go, oh, what do we got here? I don't even understand this. After you get your supplies and have been walking for 2 hours, you come across a sign. You go, Fairgray, housing, your family, tram station, a way out, grocery store, survivors, or Dumont Hotel rooftop, your single-person helicopter. If that makes sense to you guys. After you get your supplies and have been walking for 2 hours, you come across a sign. Do you go to the Fairgray housing with your family, the tram station, which is a way out, the grocery store? I should be A, B, and C in it, shouldn't I? Okay, A, Fairgray housing, which is where your family would go. B, the tram station, which is a way out. C, the grocery store where there's survivors. Or D, Dumont Hotel rooftop. You're a single person and a helicopter. Kevin says A. Stephanie says D. Stephanie's always with the D. No, just kidding. Just kidding, honey. So, Kevin's with A, Jason with A, Stephanie with D, Shannon with A. So, A's are going to win it. Going to the Fairgray housing with the family. Okay, number 6. Evidently, we're going to the tram station anyway. I don't know who wrote this quiz, but anyway, we're in the middle of it now. Number 6. After a few hours, you arrive at the tram station after going where you had to go, or just straight to the tram station, and there is a group of survivors waiting. A person speaks into a radio and says, "I don't think we can last much longer. I'm sorry." Do you say A, get on the tram, I'll start it when I need to. B, smash the radio and say, we have to go. C, sneak around the back and start the tram. Or D, tell everyone to grab a gun. We aren't leaving until they're here. So Shannon answers D. Okay, I will read it again. After a few hours, you arrive at the tram station after going where you had to go. And there is a group of survivors waiting there. A person speaks into his radio and says, I don't think we can last much longer. I'm sorry. So basically, are you going to wait for survivors, or are you just going to go? So your answers are A, you say, get on the tram, I'll start it when I need to. B, smash the radio and say, we have to go. C, sneak around the back and start the tram. Or D, tell everyone to grab a gun, we aren't leaving until they're here. We got two double D's. Stephanie comes in with a B. Stephanie is ready to go. Jason's going with D. So we got 3 D's and 1 B. So we're going to tell everyone to grab a gun, and then we're not leaving until they get here. All right. Question number 7. How many questions are on here? Let's see. Okay. Question number 7. Suddenly, a large 11-foot zombie-like creature comes out of the sky and lands on one of the survivors. Do you, A, get everyone on the tram trying not to get the creature's attention? B, distract it while everyone gets on the tram? C, start the tram? Or D, sit back because you already set the tram in motion? I think I should have reread or pre-read this quiz and kind of reworded it because, yeah, it's a little goofy. The wording's a little goofy. Shannon's going with C. I'll read that again for you guys. Number 7. Suddenly, a large 11-foot zombie-like creature comes from out of the sky and lands on one of the survivors. Do you, A, get everyone on the tram trying not to get the creature's attention? B, distract it while everyone gets on the tram? C, start the tram? Or D, sit back because you already set the tram in motion? Jason D. I'd be like, nope, we out. Okay, we got 2 C's and 1 D. What are you going to say, Steph? Steph is going with C. So 3 C's and a D, Jason. So we're going with C. Start the tram. Number 8. While the tram starts to go into motion, you have to make a decision. A, shoot yourself so the monster will feast on your body and the others can escape. B, keep relaxing because you're on the tram. C, close the doors and keep the monster out. Or D, pull out your grenade launcher and say just one thing. Don't stop the tram. I think some little kid wrote this quiz, to be honest with you. Shannon comes in with D. Shannon's got the D. Kevin D. You guys need me to read that again for you? While the tram starts to go into motion, you have to make a decision. A. Shoot yourself so the monster will feast on your body and the others can escape. I didn't expect anybody to pick that one. B. Keep relaxing because you're on the tram. C. Close the doors and keep the monster out. Or D. Pull out your grenade launcher and say just one thing. Don't stop the tram. You had me at grenade launcher. All right, Jason. So there's 3 of them. Steph, what do you think? Did not see it. Okay. So I got 4 Ds. 4 Ds. Okay. We're all going to pull out our grenade launchers and say just one thing. Don't stop the tram. Let's go to the chopper. 9. Scenario A. You're not on the tram. You either were pushed off, fell off, or didn't get on. The tram trails away. The monster knocked away your guns, and you only have a grenade and a flare gun, and he's holding you up by your neck. Do you A. throw the grenade at the tram that abandoned you? B. Shoot the propane tank, ensuring his and your death? C. Shove the grenade down his throat, not ensuring either of your deaths? Or D. Shoot the flare gun at the tram so he focuses on it instead? So a little betrayal happened there. But there's 5 of us. Stephanie and Shannon in with C. Kevin with C. Jason with C. All right. Shove the grenade down his throat, not ensuring either of your deaths. Imagine to give him some frickin' heartburn. Number 10, scenario B. You're still on the tram, or somebody pulled you onto the tram at the last second, and the monster is tailing you. What do you do? Do you A. tell everyone to grab a gun and get in the middle of the tram? B. Pretend you're infected so people stay on the dangerous side? C. Stay in the back and shoot at the monster to slow it down? Or D. Hide so nobody knows where you're the one who started the tram? Okay. Let me read that again. Oh, yeah. Next time I'm going to pre-read this stuff, buddy. Okay. Number 10, scenario B. You're still on the tram, or somebody pulled you onto the tram at the last second, and the monster is tailing you. What do you do? Do you A. tell everyone to grab a gun and get in the middle of the tram? B. Pretend you're infected so people stay on the dangerous side so they can distract the monster? C. Stay in the back and shoot at the monster to slow it down? Or D. Hide so nobody knows that you were the one who started the tram? Jason says A. Kneecap that big zombie. Okay, so we got an A and we got a B from Steph. A C. and a C from Kevin. So 2 C's, a B, and an A. So C wins out. Stay in the back and shoot at the monster to slow it down. All right. And the last question of this well-written quiz here. Sorry, guys. I was really hoping for something a little better than what I'm giving you, but all right, let's finish it out. 11. Scenario A, B. You remember it all. The fight with the monster, the tram, the survivors, and how the tram blew up. You wake up to find 2 men standing over you with guns. One says, "What has God wrought?" The other says, "If you want to live, talk." You A, stand up, get the fuck out of my way or I'll kill you. B, stand up, we need to move out. There's survivors out there and I plan to find them. C, say nothing and think, God didn't do this, we did. Or D, say nothing, what's the point? I'm going to hell anyway. That is going to be the dumbest fucking question out of the whole quiz. I will read it again. Scenario A, B. You remember it all. The fight with the monster, the tram, the survivors, and how the tram blew up. You wake up to find 2 men standing over you with guns. One says, "What has God wrought?" The other says, "If you want to live, talk." Do you A, stand up and say, "Get the fuck out of my way or I'll kill you"? B, stand up and say, "We need to move out. There's survivors out there and I plan to find them"? Or C, say nothing and think, God didn't do this, we did. Or D, say nothing. What's the point? I'm going to hell anyway. So what do we got here? Ah, la 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 la. Jason comes in with a B. And Steph comes in with an A. Kevin with an A. And Kevin, two A's and a B. And that's up to you, Shannon. Where are we at, buddy? This is so restrictive. It is kind of, yeah. I don't know. I just think I need to write my own quizzes, I think. But figure that out. Shannon comes in with an A, so we got 3 A's and a B. So I guess we're just gonna kill people. Stand up and say, "Get the fuck out of my way or I'll kill you." All right, I'm gonna submit them. See what we got for a result here. And our result is this. As a collective, what kind of zombie survivor are we? Our result is we're a gun-wielding saint. You survived the onslaught and saved many other people. You are a zombie-killing saint. You saved yourself and many other people. Thank you for playing, and I hope you enjoyed it. No. So let's see. We got the top result. We got 83%. A lot of the other people that have played, 60% said had died, but not in vain. And 57% were surviving sons of bitches. Yeah, that would be you, Kev. A saint. Yeah, most definitely. It does have a thing on here where I can make my own quiz, so that'd be... Actually, no, it's spelled make your own... Create your own quirk. I think some little kid designed that website. I don't know. It's... Yeah. Sorry. Second to last night, and I blow it with giving you guys some really strange quiz. But that's okay, right? We're having fun together. And we are ready to jump into this zombie apocalypse. Get it finished out. Last time we left our survivors, the compound, the stronghold got breached. The Moon Valley County Fairgrounds. First time for everything. Kevin being called a saint. Very true, Shannon. Very true. So yeah, the Moon Valley County Fairgrounds got breached, and our hero Len Emerson is in quarantine in the medical hut, and strapped to the bed and locked in a cage in case he turns. His wife is with the kids, and everybody else is out trying to fight these deadheads as they breach the fence line, and now they're trying to get into the arena where everybody is. So we're going to join them now in chapter 26. Mom, what about Dad? Lee asks almost angrily. He'll be fine, honey, she said, uncertain. They have the infirmary on lockdown too. But he should be with us. Soldiers came and evacuated women and children into the locker rooms. All the adults were given weapons, and 2 guards were placed in front of the locked double doors. Your wife tries to lock you in a cage? You know, whatever you're into, bro. Whatever you're into, I'm not going to judge you over here. Chris! There was a pounding on the double doors. She came up to the door. Chris, this is Brent. Are you guys okay in there? Yes. What's going on? They've broken the perimeter. They're all over outside. What about the infirmary? Well, your husband's friend parked a tank in front of the doors. I'm pretty sure nothing is getting in there. There was a loud crunch. The giant rolling doors that were on either side of the arena were beginning to buckle. Brent? Chris called out. Gotta go! The gunfire erupted and echoed off the enclosed area. There was a set of double doors that blocked off the arena from the lobby that sat in front of the locker room. A pre-made metal barricade was fastened in front of it. Brent and a group of about 15 sat armed and ready to fire. Kyla sat against the far wall from Brent. Her arms were slack and her brown hair was sweaty and matted against her face. Her breathing was shallow. Come on, Kyla. Brent went over to her. Stand up. There's no time to rest. He bent down to pick her up, and she growled at him. He looked at his hand, and it was covered with black slime mixed with blood. Oh, God, Kyla, no. Brent let go of her hand and backed away. He raised his M16 at her head, but she darted in onto a nearby soldier and bit into the meat of his shoulder. Get off me! He screamed. Get it the fuck off me! She had him on the ground and began pulling jagged chunks of tissue from his squirming body with her teeth. Brent pulled out his knife and plunged it into the top of her head. She screeched and then dropped on her prey. Oh, Jesus! The soldier said, and Brent silenced him with a bullet to the head. As Hank's Humvee roared around to the area of the fence that had been breached, he saw the crowd of infected that had infiltrated the arena. Bring us in, he told the soldier who was driving. Fuck that, the soldier said, and began to turn the Humvee around. Hank crawled down into the cab and put his pistol against the kid's head. Turn us around and get us back in there now, he threatened. No way, I'm not going back in there. Hank smashed the butt of his pistol on his head, and he threw him out the driver's side door. He pulled up about 20 feet from the arena and then climbed back onto the gun. The .50 caliber ripped into the line of them, cutting some of them in half. He jumped back into the driver's seat and pulled up next to the tank that he had parked in front of the infirmary after he left Len alone. He cleared the small crowd around the tank and then jumped onto the tank and then into the doorway. "Len!" he screamed as he walked into the main area. "Hank?" Len answered. "You still human?" "Yeah, but I'm really burning up." Hank undid the straps on his friend and handed him a pistol. What are you doing?" Len asked. "Come on, man, I need your help." But I'm infected." "I'm hoping to use that to my advantage. Let's go." Without any more questions, Len was led by Hank to the tank in front of the infirmary. "Is my family okay?" Len asked as they crouched behind the tank. "As far as I know, yes," Hank answered. "But I don't know for how long. They've breached the arena, so they should be on lockdown in the locker rooms. Last I heard, the 2 barricades between the deadheads and your family are holding." "Shit. Exactly." "So, what the hell are we doing here, Hank?" "You need to get to the access ladder in the back of the arena. Take it to the roof and find the hatch that will take you inside. Once in, I'll talk you through to the locker rooms." Hank handed him a radio. "What are you gonna do?" Len asked. "I'm taking this tank, and I'm gonna have it parked right outside for you and your family." Len looked over at the top of the tank. I don't think I'm gonna get through that. There's tons of those rotting things." "I don't think they'll touch you. You're infected. I'm hoping they ignore you." That's a big hope." Hank pulled his M16 from his shoulder and handed it to him. "You'll be fine. I know that not because you're infected, but because I know you'll do everything and anything to get your family to safety." Len took a deep breath. Sweat poured off his brow and was getting into his eyes. His temp was 103, but he was chilled to the bone. "Wish me luck," he said. "Brother, if there was such a thing as luck, we wouldn't be in this predicament." Len crouched at the edge of the tank. He was watching a group of deadheads feed on former survivors that were littering the yard. "Oh, God," he said under his breath as he ran towards the back of the arena. Any infected that looked his way, he dispatched with a spray of bullets until he reached the ladder. The bottom rung hung 8 feet off the ground. "Shit," he uttered, looking around for something to climb on. There was a green dumpster behind a group of infected that were ripping apart a woman. He walked slowly over to it. The deadheads were busy feeding on her to notice. He tried to push it, but the wheels were dug into the tar of the parking lot. The infected began to move towards him, growling and unsure of who he was, friend or food. He ran to the ladder again, pulling his shirt off. He looped it around the bottom rung and tried to use it to pull himself up. The fever had taken most his strength, and he couldn't even manage to pull himself up an inch. Frustrated, he began to lose hope. "I'm sorry, Chris," he whimpered to himself. "I'm sorry, kids." A few of the undead came around the corner, growling as they found a potential meal. "Leave me alone, you son of a bitch," he shouted and shot it in the head. He used 4 bullets to take the other 2 down. An idea sparked in his fevered head. He went over to the cadavers and dragged them over to the ladder. Piling them on top of each other, the feet sapped the remains of his strength. "How you doing, brother?" Hank called on the radio. Len was out of breath and couldn't respond. "Come on, Emerson. Let me hear you." I can't get up the ladder, Hank," Len said, defeated. "I'm too weak." "Get your ass moving. Do not fail your family." Len groaned and then coughed a phlegmy wad into his mouth and spit it out. He climbed up on his infected pile of deadheads, and his hands caught hold of the rung. Without thinking, he made it up to the roof. He was going on sheer willpower. "I'm up," he called, panting into the radio. "Good man," Hank cheered. "In the middle of the roof, you're going to see a hatch that will lead you into the catwalk along the ceiling of the arena." Len stumbled to the hatch and opened it. 6 feet below was a metal catwalk. He let himself fall onto it. The sharp pain from his broken collarbone woke him out of his fevered daze. "You're going to see a large vent straight to your left," Hank continued. I see it." "That vent will lead straight into the locker room bathrooms." "Okay." "You're doing good, brother. Don't back down now." Len kicked at the grate of the vent, and it came off the wall. He crawled his way inside and slid his way down to the locker room bathrooms. And that, my friends, is the end of chapter 26. So, next week is the final chapter. And, got to think of something special to do for the last night of Zechariah 14:12. We'll figure something out. It'll be a lot of fun. And hopefully more fun than the quiz I made you guys sit through tonight. Kevin got sainthood out of tonight's quiz, so that's a good thing, right? Right. So, anyhow, folks, come by next Wednesday for I won't say it's the final Apocalypse Humpday, but there will be. We'll read the last chapter. We'll finish out the book. The week after that, we're going to read the short story that I wrote as a sequel to this book called The Diary of Catherine Emerson. And Stephanie will be reading that for you guys. Hopefully, I did kind of prank her tonight and told her it was tonight, and she freaked a little bit. But, that's what I do. Anyhow, so she'll be reading that to you guys here in a couple weeks. Tune in on Friday with What's the Buzz at the Hive. I'm going to be interviewing my daughter, who has been laboriously writing her book. She's been rewriting. She actually published it back when she was about 16, and then she kind of pulled it off the shelves, and now she's rewriting it now that she's older, and it's got some writing chops. And I've been reading every chapter. Every time she finishes one, I read it, and it's really good. It's a romance, it's a drama, and maybe something you're not into. I like it not just because it's my daughter that wrote it, but it's real and it's palpable. So I'm very impressed with what she's done. So tune into that on Friday night at 8 p.m. Hopefully no technical difficulties. I think my daughter and I will do a test run before we go live with that one, so you guys aren't wondering where the hell we are. So I haven't got I think next week on Tunes for Tuesday, we're going to be doing some Neil Young, I think, is what's going through my brain right now. So, anyhow, I'll put that up as soon as I got something down for that. And thank all of you guys for constantly coming out to the Hive here and hanging out with me and listening to me tell my tales and listen to my zombie jokes and my zombie stories and all that other nonsense that I put you guys through. I really appreciate it. And I think I might have a giveaway next week. So I don't have the book done yet, but it will be done probably before October of this year. It'll probably get published. And it's a short horror anthology. Again, to come out for October, and I think I will give a copy away for that one. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do next week. And then also, as soon as Steph is done reading the Diary of Catherine Emerson, we're going to take a break for a week, and then when we come back, it's going to be season 2, and instead of Apocalypse Humpday, it's going to be called Horror Humpday, and that way I can read you whatever short stories I got out there, and yeah, we won't have to follow this zombie thing for a while. So anyhow, all right, you guys, thanks again. Have a great night. Love you all. Mwah. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Oh.